Good morning, everyone. I want to ask you a question today, kind of following up from Sunday. What governs your life? What governs your life? Now, you may have a number of things that you want to say in answer to that question. I know that I certainly do. Lots of things that I'd like to be able to say, that love governs my life, that my faith governs my life, family, generosity, loving my neighbor as Christ called us to do. I love to be able to say, and I bet you would agree, that God, through Jesus Christ and the work of the Holy Spirit, governs my life. But let me also ask you the question this way. If someone who knew nothing about you, nothing about your faith, nothing about your beliefs, nothing about you, if they came to you right now and said to you, look, I've been watching you for the past month, 1 month, observing you to determine what really governs your life. And from what I've seen you do and what I've heard you say and how I've watched you live your life, where you go, how you eat, what you do, what you say, this is what I see governs your life. Better yet, what if they've been watching since the very beginning of the COVID pandemic? What would they say governs your life? From what you do and what you say and how you live and where you go. This question, I think, deserves our attention and our reflection this week. What do your words and your actions say about what governs your life? What does your daily schedule say about what governs your life? What do your relationships say about what governs your life? If each of us is honest with ourselves, there are things that we would really like for folks to be able to say in answer to that question. But if we're honest, there's also things that folks would see and believe that govern our life that we wouldn't really like to hear those answers. Things that we would see and hear them say about that question if they had been watching us for a while, and we wouldn't be real happy about what they might say. You see, when you look into a mirror, you always see things that you're not aware of, that you didn't know were there before, right? It's the reason we have mirrors, because there's things about me that I can't see unless someone or something can reflect it back to me. It's good to have people in your life that can be honest with you, that can do that for you. So I'm not so sure that if someone had been observing any of our lives over the past month or the past year, what they would say. I'm not sure if we would love what they would say about us. So I want to invite you to think about this today. What might a little spring cleaning look like in your life? Sunday, you see, we talked about living in the world, but not of the world. And learning to do that, to live in, not of, through 3 questions that I invited you to ask yourself. 3 questions that I believe the pandemic has been inviting us to ask ourselves. First, what really matters? What really matters? Second, what is essential? And third, what can we live without? What have we been living without because of the pandemic that maybe we can continue to live without? Those are the 3 questions I invited you to consider Sunday. In many ways, the pandemic decluttered our lives by forcing us, whether we liked it or not, to give up some things, even if those things were just for a period of time while businesses and activities and organizations were closed or operating in a different way. The result is that we had an opportunity to examine our lives, at least if we took it as an opportunity. Now, some of us just complained about everything that was going on, and we never really grabbed hold of the opportunity to examine our lives. But here's the thing, that opportunity is not lost. It is not too late to get started. You can start right now examining your life. You can start right now decluttering the things that you are doing, the things that you're thinking and saying and living, the things that you're desiring, that really and truly, if someone were to look at your life and realize and say to you, hey, some of these things have more control over you than you realize. Now is an opportunity to begin decluttering, to realize those things that really are governing your life more than you would like to admit. Richard Rohr, a Franciscan, writes that the gospel revolves around the art of letting go, ridding ourselves of the need to be successful or right or powerful or wealthy. Richard Rohr talks about the spiritual discipline of simplicity. He's not the only one, but he's a great one. And he says that the spiritual discipline of simplicity is about the emptying of the self that allows us to walk a path of service to God and to others, just as Jesus did. I invite you to live more simply, to declutter your life, to focus on the questions from Sunday. What really matters? What is essential? And what can I live without? That I've learned over the past year that, hey, I can make it through life without those things. And focus then on what really matters. I invite you to think about these questions as a way of helping you declutter and simplify your life. No doubt there are some things that you can and should let go of that are really controlling you more than you know, more than you'd like to admit. And letting go of those things is a spiritual practice, a spiritual discipline, if you will, that when you have done it, when you have walked that journey of letting go, folks will see in your life what really matters. What is essential? And the answers that they reflect back to you as if they were a mirror will begin to become answers that you and God will both be pleased about. I invite you to consider that today. Now remember, on Sunday, I invited you to go to John chapter 17, beginning about verse 6, and read every day this week this priestly prayer that Jesus is praying over your life. He prayed it over the disciples long ago, and it's a prayer that he gives to us. It comes to us in the Gospel of John, chapter 17, verse 6 through about 19 or so, I believe, 19 or 20. And read it every single day this week and hear those words that Jesus is praying over your life. Praying over your life for God's presence, for God's protection, for God's providential care in your life, praying that God will set you apart for some special purpose. You can be sure that Jesus is making this prayer for you, that God is listening and God is working this prayer out in your life. So let's ask those questions. Let's declutter our lives. Let's find the simple life that God is inviting us to, so that what really matters is what shows forth from everything we do, everything we say, from how we live, that the world might know that Jesus Christ is salvation. If you're watching with us on Facebook, thanks so much for joining us today, or YouTube. We're glad that you were here. We want to invite you to join us now on our conference call line as we go to a time of prayer and sharing of concerns and joys. And we do that on the conference call line just to keep those prayer requests more private. The number is 563-999-1222. You can call in right now to join us there. If you are not able to do that, but you'd like to send us a prayer request, you can message us through the church Facebook page or through YouTube, or go to our website, www.hoodmemorial.org, and send us a message through the website. We would love to hear of the things in your life that you would like to ask for prayer for now. So go ahead and do that, and we will join everyone on our conference call line in about 30 seconds. Take care, and God bless.